once again, welcome to Mima's Crafts. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet this beautiful handbag here. It's a very simple bag which requires very minimum materials to crochet. It is also very simple. If you're a beginner, it is very easy to follow. Okay, so this bag has got firm sides because of the stitch. The stitch is called the waistcoat stitch or the knit stitch. Okay, so the measurements of the bag are: the width of our bag is about 32 centimeters, okay, and then the height is about 24 centimeters. Okay, so it's a nice and portable handbag. Okay, so for this bag, these are the things that you're going to need. Here I've got thread and sewing needle. In this, we're going to use this for the button. You're also going to need a button. This is about 20 millimeters in diameter. You're also going to need this small hook here. It's for the tassel. Okay, you're also going to need the scissors, crochet hook. I used a 6 millimeter crochet hook, and also you're going to need stitch markers. I used about 6 of them. And if possible, you can have one that is of different color from the rest. Okay, I'll explain later. Then also I used macrame, braided macrame. Okay, this one. You can use any other type of yarn that you have. It just has to be thick. This is about 3 millimeters thick. Even t-shirt yarn can do, or any other type of yarn. Okay, so let's begin. Also, for this macrame, I used about 250 meters, okay, for the whole bag. Okay, so we're going to begin with a chain of 20. We're going to be crocheting in US terms. Okay, so we're going to begin with the base of the bag, and then we'll do the sides. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to do the slip knot. Okay, set my hook and pull through. Okay, I'm going to chain 20. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just going to continue and come back with a chain of 20. Okay, so I now have a chain of 20, this one. So now I want to begin our first round. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to skip this first chain here and insert my hook into this one, grab my yarn and pull through. So we're going to work a single crochet. Now that I have 2 loops here, I yarn over and then pull through. So this is going to be my first stitch. So I'm going to put a stitch marker, this one, with a different color from the rest. Okay, so this stitch marker is different from these ones because it's also going to be marking my starting point. Okay, so I'm going to continue with 1 single crochet in each chain up until I'm at this side. Okay, so in the next chain, insert my hook, yarn over and pull through. That's my second single crochet. In the next chain, I insert again, pull through. Okay, so that's single crochet into each and every chain. Okay, like this. Okay, so I'm just going to continue working my single crochet up until I'm left with this one last chain here. So I've just done single crochet along the chains, and now I'm left with this one chain here. So in this chain, instead of putting 1, we're going to put 4 single crochets. Okay, because you want to curve and start crocheting at the back of the chains. Okay, so I'm going to put 4 single crochets in that. So this is 1. Okay, again in the same chain, 2. So this one, the second one, I'm going to put the stitch marker. Then again in the same chain, 2. You can pull here to minimize this hole. Okay, this one I'm going to put a stitch marker again, and then again the last single crochet in that chain. Okay, just adjust as you go. That's 3. Okay, so we've put 4 single crochets, 1 2 3 4, but 3 of them we've put 3 stitch markers. Okay, so now I'm going to turn, and then I'm going to start inserting my hook at the back of the chains. Okay, this one's okay. I'm going to be inserting in these small holes at the back of the chains, and then do single crochets. Okay, 1 single crochet in each. I'm just going to hide this tail as I crochet. Okay, into the next, this one. Okay, into the next. Okay, like this. Okay, so I'm just going to continue doing single crochet up until I'm left with this hole here at the back of the first chain. Okay, so I've just done single crochet at the back of the chains. Okay, like this. Now I'm left with this back of the chain here. So instead of putting one single crochet, we want to curve here. So to compensate for the curving, I'm going to put 3 single crochets in this hole. Okay, so this is 1. Okay, again in the same hole I'm going to put another one. That's 2. So in this one I'm going to put a stitch mark again. Okay, and 3. Okay, so in this one again I'm going to put a stitch marker like that. So this is my first round. So we have 3 stitches with stitch markers. So at this curve, and then also we have 3 stitches with 3 stitch markers at this other side. So these stitches with the stitch markers, we're going to be increasing our base using these stitches. Okay, so whenever I reach a stitch with a stitch marker, I'm going to put 2 stitches. Okay, so this one here we're going to increase at the same time. It is also marking the starting point. Okay, now we're now going to begin the second round. Okay, so I remove this. So this is my first stitch. Okay, so I insert my hook here and put 2 single crochets in there, but I put back the stitch marker in the first stitch, in that stitch that we just did. Okay, in the first single crochets. Okay, now I put another single crochet in there like this. So we've increased with 1. Okay, there are 2 stitches in 1 stitch. Okay, so now I'm going to continue with 1 single crochet in each stitch up until I'm at the next stitch marker. Okay, so we're increasing our stitches so that our work remains flat and increases the width of our base. Okay, so it doesn't gouge inside, it remains flat. Okay, so I'm just going to continue with single crochet up until I'm at the next stitch marker. Okay, so just continue up until we're here at the next stitch marker. Okay, so now I'm at this next stitch marker, this one. So I'm just going to remove it. Okay, like this, and I'm going to put 2 single crochets in the stitch. Okay, so this is 1, and remember to put back the stitch marker in the first stitch that you just did, and then put another one. Okay, so I've put 2 single crochets, okay, in that stitch. Again, in this one I'm going to do the same. I'm going to put 2, so this is 1, and I put the stitch marker into the stitch, but don't forget to put another stitch again, another single crochet in that stitch to make them 2. Okay, and then in this one again I'm going to remove it. I'm going to put 2 single crochets. That's 1, put back my stitch marker. Okay, I'm going to do another one in that same stitch, 2. Okay, if you were to notice that we have increased 1 2 3 stitches. Okay, So now I'm going to continue here. We don't have stitch markers, so I'm just going to be putting one single crochet in each stitch, okay, up until I'm at the next stitch. Okay, so this is our second round. Okay, so I'm just going to continue up until I'm here. Okay, so I've continued with single crochet. Now I'm here. Okay, we're left with 2 stitches to finish this round. Remember, this is the first stitch. Okay, so I'm going to remove this stitch marker here, and I'm going to put 2 single crochets. That's 1. I put back the stitch marker into the first single crochet like that, and I put another 1 single crochet like this. Okay, again in the next stitch I remove it. I put 2 single crochets, put back my stitch marker into the first single crochet in that stitch, put another single crochet. Okay, so our second round is done. Okay, so just going to be continuing like we did for 2 more rounds. Okay, we're going to repeat round 2, okay, the one that we just did, 2 more times, okay, so that we have 4 rounds, and then come back. So I'm just going to show you here. Whenever you reach the first stitch, you just remove it, and then you put 2 single crochets, put back the stitch marker in the first stitch. Okay, don't forget to do that, and then put another single crochet. Okay, you continue with single crochet up until you're at the next stitch marker. Okay, so for round 3, this one that we've just begun, and round 4, repeat round 2. Okay, and then come back. Welcome back. So I've just completed the 4th round. Okay, so you can see that the width and length of our bust is actually increased. So if you want a bigger bag, you just continue repeating round 2 up until you have the width and the length that you want. Okay, let's just measure this one to see how long it is. Okay, so this one here I'm using centimeters. The width is about almost 9 centimeters here, and then the length it's about 29. Okay, so if you want it to be bigger, the best to be bigger, you just continue increasing. At this point here I have 60 stitches. Okay, so now I'm going to remove these stitch markers here because our bust is done. We now want to crochet the sides. Okay, so I'm just going to remove this, but I'm going to remain with this one. It's going to be marking the starting point. Okay, so now we just want our bust to be nice and firm, so we're going to do slip stitch right round. Okay, so I'm going to do slip stitch into each stitch right round. So with slip stitch, this is the first stitch here. I'm going to be inserting my hook. Okay, pull through and then pull through like this. Okay, so this is my first stitch. Okay, and I'm going to put my stitch marker back into this stitch here. Okay, so into the next stitch, this one, insert, pull through and pull through. So that's how we do slip stitch. Insert your hook, grab your yarn, pull through, and then pull through again. Okay, set your hook, grab your yarn, pull through, and then pull through again, so that when you turn your work here, you should have more like 1, 2, 3 loops. Okay, like that. Okay, so that's our slip stitch. So I'm just going to do slip stitch right round. Okay, right round like this, right round up until I'm back here. Welcome back. So I've just completed my slip stitch right round. Okay, so these are the edges, and you can see this is the slip stitch. Okay, so now we're back at the starting point. Make sure that you maintain 60 stitches. Okay, so now we want to begin crocheting the sides of the bag. Okay, so I'm just going to remove the stitch mark here for a moment. So this is our first stitch. So you'll find that we have 3 loops here. We have 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But we're going to be inserting our hook in the 2 loops at the end here, those ones. Okay, so I'm just going to do 1 single crochet, in that stitch like that. Okay, so I'm going to put a stitch marker here. This is our first stitch. Okay, in the next stitch I leave the slip stitch here, and then I insert into that and do single crochet. Okay, I leave this one, but I insert into the last two loops there. Okay, like this. Okay, like this. Okay, okay, so I'm just going to do this single crochet right round up until I'm back at the starting point. So this is the first round of our sides, okay, going up. So this is round one. Okay, so actually go round one of the sides. Okay, so I'm going to be referring this to as round one. Okay, so I've just completed the first round of the sides, and this is how it now looks like. Okay, so this one is what I was doing here at the end. Here, make sure that you crochet into the very last stitch. Okay, and you can cross check by counting the total number of stitches that you have to make sure that they are 60. Okay, so now we want to move on to round two. Okay, so round two we're going to be doing a stitch called knit stitch or waistcoat stitch, but it's very much similar to single crochet, only that where we place our crochet hook is different. Okay, so I'm just going to remove this. Okay, so with single crochet we're going to place our hook below these two top loops here. Okay, here the normal single crochet that we know of, but with knit stitch we have these two V's here. Okay, this one and this one, we're going to be placing our hook in between those. Okay, and make sure that it comes through. Okay, like this. Okay, so here let me just do this first stitch here. Just make sure you insert at the right place, like this one, and then yarn over and pull through. Okay, so like this. I have two loops, just like single crochet, yarn over and pull through. So this is my first stitch. I'm going to put back my stitch marker like this. Okay, right, in the next stitch, instead of putting your crochet hook here, you're going to be placing your crochet hook between these two V's here. Okay, so you're going to place it here and it comes through like this. Okay, yarn over and pull through, yarn over, go through again. Okay, again into the thread. Don't put your crochet hook here, but between these two legs here, the V here. Okay, like that. So we have the knit stitch. Okay, like this. Okay, so this is our knit stitch. So I'm just going to continue doing this knit stitch right round. Okay, this one, and I'm going to do it right round, and let's meet back here at the starting point. Okay, so I've just finished this second round, and you can see here this is the stitch that we want. Okay, the knit stitch. Okay, so this is our bag so far. So now moving on, you just make sure that at the beginning of each round you remove the stitch marker and don't forget to put it back. Okay, so we're just going to continue placing our hook in between the legs, the V. Okay, and then grab our yarn, pull it through, and then put your stitch marker back. Okay, again in the next one here. Okay, insert it through here and over, pull through. Okay, like that, into the following, So this is just the knit stitch or the waistcoat stitch. So this is the stitch that we're going to continue doing. So here, this is round 3. So you're going to continue up until you have 24 rounds, okay? So we have done 1 and 2. So we're going to continue and do 22 more and then come back, okay? Welcome back. So I've just completed the 24 rounds, and this is our back so far. So this is the inside, okay? This is the outside, okay? So now we want to put the handles as well as this small ring here, okay? We're just going to place it somewhere here, okay? So what we're going to do is we need our stitch markers, 4 of them, okay? So we're going to count stitches. Going to place our first stitch marker in stitch number 6, beginning from the very first point, this one. So I'm going to count 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then I'm going to put a stitch marker in there, okay? Then I'm going to continue 6 and put another one in stitch number 19, 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19. Okay, this is 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19. So I'm just going to put another one. So from here to here we should have 12 stitches here. Okay, so I'm going to continue. This is stitch number 19, so I'm going to put another one in stitch number 36. Okay, so that's 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 34 35 36. Okay, so we're going to place another one inside here. Okay, so another one we're going to put it in stitch number 49. So this is 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. Okay, so we're going to place another one here. So from here up to here you should have 12 stitches, and then from here up to here you should have 18 stitches, as well as this one. So let's say your bag is bigger and you have more stitches than mine. So the whole idea is that we want to put handles in between here. So these stitches should be equal to these ones, and then these ones from here up to here should be equal to these ones. Okay, so from here to here I have 18, as well as from this point to this point. Okay, so you just work around your stitches and then you design your handles. Okay, so now we're going to continue. So the stitch markers are in 6, 19, 36 and 49. Okay, so here we're going to continue with the pattern. So I'm just going to remove this stitch marker here and continue. Okay, I'm just going to put it back. Okay, so I'm going to continue with the knit stitch. Okay, so now I'm now at the stitch marker, so I'm just going to remove it, and I'm going to crochet it in that stitch. Okay, like this. So I want my handle to be a bit short, so I'm just going to chain 14. Okay, so this is going to be my handle. So 1 2 3 4 5 9 14. So now I have a chain of 14, so I'm just going to join this one into this stitch. Okay, so here, so I'm just going to remove the stitch marker when no longer needed. Okay, like that. So this is our first handle. So somewhere here I want to place this one. Okay, like that. Okay, so I'm just going to place this here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue crocheting. Okay, that, and then again here. Okay, so now we have our hook in place. I'm just going to continue up until I'm at the next stitch marker and repeat what I just did here. Okay, so I'm just going to continue. Let's meet back here. Okay, so here I'm at the next stitch marker, so I'm just going to remove it, and I'm going to insert my hook in there and do another stitch. Now I'm going to chain 14 like we did the other side. So now I have 14. Again, I'm going to join into the stitch. Okay, like this. Okay, so I'm just going to continue with my stitch up until I'm back at the starting point. Okay, so here I'm back at the starting point here. So these are my handles, but they are a bit thin, so we want to increase their thickness. Okay, so I'm just going to continue with the knit stitch up until I'm here. Okay, and then I'll show you how to crochet on the handles. Okay, so this is my first stitch, and I'll continue putting this back up until I'm done with the bag. Okay, okay, now here I'm going to do the knit stitch. Okay, in that stitch like this. Okay, so now we're at the chain. So here at the chain, we normally insert our hook here. Okay, but we're going to turn our chain. We have these small bumps here at the back, these ones. So we're going to insert our hook through those and do single crochet. Okay, so I'm just going to turn here. So this is the first one. So at the edge, so insert my hook and I'll pull through. So let me bring the camera closer. Okay, so these are the back bumps. Okay, so you're going to be setting our hook through here, pull through and do single crochet. Okay, and this one like that, and pull through again. Okay, so just continue and like this up until you're here, and then continue right round. Do the same for this handle, crocheting in the back bump, and let's meet back here at the starting point. So this is our bag so far. Okay, we've done the single crochet on the handles. Okay, so this is how they look like. So now I want to do just one more round. Okay, we're going to do knit stitch in every stitch, even on top here. Okay, up until we're done, just to finish off. Okay, and give it a nice look. So I'm just going to do the knit stitch right round, and then this will be our last round. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how you're going to do it on the handles, but it's just knit stitch and it'll be very easy. Okay, so here I'm almost at the handle, so I'm just going to continue with knit stitch like this. At the handle again, I'm going to do knit stitch. Okay, inserting my hook in between the legs, or that V. Okay, like this. Okay, so just continue doing this right round and let's meet back here. So I've done the second round on top of the handle, okay, of our knit stitch, and this is how now our handle looks like. Okay, so here I'm just going to cut off and remove the stitch mark here. No longer need it. I'm just going to cut off and I'm going to fasten this off. Okay, so I'm just going to hide this inside, okay, and then come back. Okay, so this is our bag so far. Okay, so now we just left with putting a button as well as a tassel here, and then we're done. Okay, so with our button, what we're going to do is, so with the button you just place it in the middle here. Okay, just find the middle place here and then I'm just going to sew it right here and then come back. Okay, so now we want to put the buttonhole the other side. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to crochet from this side, come here. Okay, so here I have my hook and my yarn, so I'm going to do a slip knot here. Okay, like that. Okay, so here directly opposite the button, so I'm just going to take this stitch here, this one. Okay, okay, so this one here, so I'm going to take this. Okay, and we're going to do a chain. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it through so that it comes the other side. Okay, in your bag. Okay, so like this. So it's supposed to wrap around the button like this and then come back here. Okay, so I think 9 is okay. Let's just remove one other stitch. Okay, let's just make it 9, and then we're going to join in this stitch here. So I'm just going to, okay, like this, and we're just going to do slip stitch so that we have that hole. I'm just going to bring it back here. Okay, so I'm just going to continue with slip stitch into the rest of the stitches, the chains. Okay, so now we're back at the starting point. So I insert again in that stitch like that, and I cut. Okay, okay, so this is our buttonhole. It should be such that when we bring it the other side like this, it is easy to just clip onto our button like that. Okay, so I'm just going to fasten off these ones, the ends, later on. So here we also want to put the tassel here. So here I've got 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 7 strands of macrame. Okay, this long. So I'm just going to insert them through this ring like this. Okay, Okay, so they are this tall, but we're going to trim the ends. Okay, and I'm going to take another one, then I'm going to tie it here. Okay, so I'm just going to tie this at the back here. Okay, we can just wrap it around one more time. Okay, so I'm going to tie it here at the back. Okay, tie it as tight as you can. Okay, like that. Okay, so this is our tassel. So now what I'm going to do is I'll just, okay, so here I'm going to trim these ends to finish off. Okay, so this is our bag and it's done. Okay, it's a nice bag as well as portable. Okay, here we have a button which we can, this is the inside. The sides of the bag are very firm. Okay, that is why I like this stitch. Okay, so this is our bag and it's done. Thank you for watching Migmas Crafts. Please do subscribe, like and comment and share for more videos. Thank you.